Okay, so hey, um, I really want to start to talk about collectors and how to make sure that if you are collecting for work that will increase in value over time, because it is okay, one, to be honest with yourself, and that you want work for the financial gain along with its beauty. To say that, right? That's one of the things that has not been allowed in the traditional art space. Knowing myself as a traditional artist, like I can never be like, where the money at? Could never. You know what I mean? It would kind of be like, ooh, no, I don't have to be a starving artist, and neither do you have to have this fake facade of being in it solely for the beauty of art. They can exist in two worlds. It's as simple as allowing yourself to do that and then others, So, yeah, let's talk about, investment, because this is the investment side of it, because this is what's going to happen, um, unfortunately. So, because of just how value works. Yes, the NFTs are going to be around for a long time. I mean, it's going to become the norm of assets. You're going to have an NFT attached to not only an artwork, but also other assets, things that can be assets as well. And that a part of that plays with scarcity, a part of that um, plays into community value. So, for example, IPs are going to do extremely well. Things like Rugrats, things like Disney, things like Pokemon, you name it, they're going to do well because they have a community who freaking loves them. Yes, I would happily take Tommy NFT, whatever, okay, Chucky, whatever, you know what I mean? Because I love, you know what I'm saying? Rugrats, and so that has value to me, and it also has value to me because I know that others also are 90s babies. You see what I'm saying here? Same thing applies for 80s nostalgia, 70s nostalgia, 2000s nostalgia, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, those things have value. Now, when you take that into play, into the art, the NFT art that we see right now, let's let's go Beeple and on down, okay? Because everybody that's an artist, including myself, comes into the NFT space with Beeple fever, okay? Where you're like, okay, 64 mil, all right, I'm gonna put my work up for a lot. And the collectors are like, oh my gosh, the collectors were able to resell his piece all the way up to 64 mil, and they got that gain, and so I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna buy at least one for 8,000. That's how much I put my first piece up for, 5 ETH, and it was 8,000 at the time. And so you got the artists coming in pricing their work for a lot, then you got the collectors coming in buying work for a lot with no foundation, okay? And where it gets stuck, where I'm so grateful, is that I did not have a sale with my first work, and that taught me, whoa, first of all, I probably need to scale back because this is something that's going to be here for a really long time. And so I need to plan out, knowing what I know from the traditional art market, how can I make myself a Jean-Michel Basquiat, a Pablo Picasso? Which I've already studied and was working on incorporating into my work now, before NFTs, and now I'm like, oh, this is like the moment to do that. Now my eyes are open to where I can see other people coming into the space making those mistakes because they aren't aware of how just value in things work. Um, so yeah, I wanted to speak to collectors because yeah, it's something that hasn't been talked about a lot because I think it's just not. Um, it's like people are just, I don't know. Okay, let me give you this example. You buy a piece. That piece means a lot to you. If you're cool with buying that piece for a lot, great. If you are cool with buying a piece that is special to you and you plan on keeping it forever and you're just happy to have it, great. You just want to support an artist, great. But if you want a piece that's going to increase in value over time, then you need to make sure that other people have that same interest as well. So let's take an example that broad example that probably won't work. You buy that piece that is of a whiteboard. I'm in my daughter's room slash office, and so of a whiteboard, and that whiteboard has, you know, a landscape drawing, and you love landscapes, but if there's no market for landscapes, who else is gonna buy a landscapes on whiteboards? And it's special to you because you used to draw on a whiteboard as a kid, but that's not a common thing. Who else is gonna buy that landscape on a whiteboard from you? You know what I'm saying? It has to have some bigger meaning in the sense of that it has to be someone else who will want to buy that piece from you, whether they know the artist or whether they like that style of work. There has to be, oh, I see why you paid that much. I'm gonna go pay as much more than you. I'm gonna pay you for it and then some. That's how it works. You have to come into it with some type of understanding. You have to understand that it's not just the NFTs that's the hype. I really appreciate Gary Vee because he used a really great analogy of like back in 1995, 1999, you know, there were a lot of .coms coming around. Everybody was like, oh, websites is the ish. And so I'm gonna go get and start a website, and that's all I'm gonna need to do. And I get to kick back and relax and sip on my, I don't know where I was going with the sip on my butt. You know, like I'm gonna be straight with having a website. And it's like, no, well, what is your website gonna do? Are you gonna be Amazon? Are you gonna be eBay? Because they lasted out of that era. Everybody else did not, because they didn't fully understand what was going on in the internet, what it was actually meant to be there for. So I'm gonna stop there. If you've already read the blog post, then you know what to do next. If you haven't read the blog post, go check out the 3 things to look for when you are buying an NFT. To give you a little snippet, it's community, collector care, and what's the other one? A plan. Okay, the artist needs to have a plan, because if they're like, what do you mean? I'm just gonna be famous. Duh, I'm gonna blow up. That's what we're all thinking. We're all thinking that. It's not gonna happen if you don't work for it, okay? Or if you don't have a plan, okay? So yeah, that's all I have to say. And please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. I hope I'm gonna do a lot more videos. As you can see, this is like right before bed. I was like, let me get this off my heart, okay, right quick. And yeah, I want to do more like thorough videos with graphs and charts or something, you know, to really break down what I'm trying to say. But this is a good start because there's not a lot of people talking about this out here, okay? So send this to your friends, or wait for the better version if you want to send that to them too. I'm gonna hop off. I hope it helped. Reach out if you have any questions. Y'all have a great morning, noon, night, or day. Peace.